Hello, and welcome to Dynamic Stage Skills. I'll be your workshop presenter. My name is Matt Rapport. I am the Director of Education for the Heart of America Shakespeare Festival. I am so happy to be part of the 2021 Kaufman Future Stages Festival. We always love being part of this, and I'm happy that I was able to create this video to be part of the festival again this year. So, dynamic stage skills. I know it's kind of a mysterious title, but we're going to be working on a couple of very distinct physical skills today that can help you as a performer. And even if you're not a performer, they can help you out. They are both lifetime sports, if you will, skills that you can continue to do throughout your life that will never really end. You can always learn new things with both these skills. You can always be learning new techniques, new tricks, etc. So I hope you find these to be a valuable addition to your skill set. And we at the Heart of America Shakespeare Festival believe that the best performers are well-rounded, have lots of different skills that they can bring to the table. And of course, if you are looking to be a professional performer someday, the more things you can do, the more you're going to get hired, right? So in addition, again, to these just being fun skills that you can work on throughout your life. For more information about the Heart of America Shakespeare Festival and what we do with our education activities, our performances, and all our year-round things that we do, please do visit our website, which is kcshakes.org. So go check it out. You can find information about all of our programming on our website. Well, let's get started. So the skills we're going to work on today are juggling and stage combat. They don't particularly necessarily have a lot in common, again, other than what I talked about earlier, which is that they are lifetime sports that you can do throughout your life and continually improve and continually learn new things and be working on. So kind of great in that way, you know, again, even if you have no intention of ever being a performer, it's always great to learn new things and learn new skills, keep your brain active, your body active. So these are really things for people of all ages that can enjoy them and use them and have fun, we hope. So we're going to start off with juggling, all right? So some of you may have some juggling experience. I, started when I was a kid and have been juggling ever since. And like I said, it's something that you can continually improve on, continually get better with, and continually learn new things. Not to mention, again, I have juggled in many a show that I've been in over the years, and it's a skill that not a lot of people have, so it's a good one to have. So anyway, we're going to start off with the basics. So what you need for this is you need to have a ball or a bean bag or a piece of fruit that you don't mind dropping a bunch. An orange is a good choice. You can use rolled up socks. You may have some bean bags or balls that are made for juggling. Basically, you want anything that will fit kind of comfortably in the palm of your hand. And of course, you're going to need 3 of them ultimately. So we're going to go through the basics. I do want you to remember that this is a video. So, you can pause it at any time and go back. And sorry, I was about to lose one of my props there. You can pause it at any time. You can go back. You can, check out a specific technique that you might be struggling with or whatever. So don't, feel like you have to keep up continually with me. Feel free to pause, feel free to go back, whatever. So anyway, we're going to learn the basic pattern of juggling, which is called the Cascade Pattern, okay? And it looks like this, right? So this is your typical 3-object cascade pattern, and this is kind of the basis of all the juggling that we do, right? So how do we get to that point of what I was just doing, okay? So first, we're going to start off with 1, all right? And we're going to work our way up. So the first thing you want to do is work on your throw. The throw is the most important part of the whole process. If you have a good throw, catches will be easy, accuracy will be easy, and all that. So that's the first thing we're going to work on. And I will tell you, and I'll probably say this again, but if at any point during this workshop you feel like you're getting lost, your skills aren't catching up where you want them to be, just go back a step, right? So when we get to 2, if you're starting with 2, go back to 1 and work on that throw. Again, the throw is the most fundamental and basic part of the process, and also the most important. If you get a good throw, everything else will fall into place eventually. So anyway, here's how we get a good throw. We want nice relaxed arms. We want our forearms and hands kind of at our side like this, right? Sticking out in front of us. Want our elbows in. We don't want to be out here, but not tucked in hard, not stiff. Try to be relaxed, right? We got to keep loosey-goosey so we can move around as we need to. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this object from my right hand to my left hand, okay, and catch it. Now, what I want, an ideal throw, is going to go just a little bit above my head in a nice arc and come down to my hand, right? So I want to try to move as little as possible, okay? Just the bare amount of movement that I need to achieve the throw, right? So that would look something like this. Yes? Right? So it helps too if you say out loud or in your head, if you would prefer to say in your head, throw and catch, right? That helps with the timing. It helps you understand how high you need to throw it, because we don't want to throw it too high because then it gets out of control, and we don't want to throw it too low because then once we start adding other objects, it's going to be too fast and chaotic for a beginner, right? So I'm going to say throw and catch, right? So you see how that throw took about exactly the time it took me to say throw and catch. That tells me I'm at about the right height. Throw and catch, throw and catch, throw and catch. All right, and notice again how little my hands are moving, how little my arms are moving. I mean, they have to move a little, obviously, to make the object move through space, but I'm moving them as little as possible, and particularly the hand I'm catching with, right? Throw and catch. So I want to try to throw to my hand, throw and catch, okay? So I want to point out a couple of things that you may be experiencing or you may not be experiencing, but these are classic issues that beginners have, okay? So the first thing is I want to point out that we don't want to have, again, too much height or too low, right? So nice throw and catch. But you also don't want to chase the object, right? That's what I mean when I say let it come to your hand, okay? So in other words, watch, this is what I mean by chasing the object. I don't want to throw and catch, right? Because once I get to 2 and 3, I'm going to have other objects to deal with. And if my hand is up here, I'm not going to be able to keep that nice cascade pattern that I showed you at the beginning, right? So again, it takes a little patience. And I will say that learning to juggle can be a little frustrating. But let me give you these words of encouragement. When I first learned to juggle as a teenager, it took me 3 months to be able to juggle 3 objects. So I bet you can pick it up faster than that. It's about practice and patience, but it does, like I said, it does take a little bit of patience. You're going to be dropping things a lot and stuff and, chasing them around, and that's okay. That's what we all do when we're learning. So here's what the good process looks like. Throw and catch. Throw and catch, right? So no chasing, okay? Great. So that's one object. So keep working on that until you feel good with it, okay? Like I said, feel free to pause. But now we're going to move on to 2 objects, and I'm going to show you how we integrate that next one, okay? All right, here we go. 2 objects. I'm going to start with 1 in each hand, okay? And now I'm going to be throw and catch just like I was, but now I'm going to say out loud. I encourage you to say this out loud because it does help. But again, if you feel more comfortable saying it in your head, that's fine too. I'm going to say throw, throw, catch, catch now, okay, to help me with the timing. So again, we want that nice even throw. So if you at any point during this 2 you start struggling, go back to 1 and work on your throw, okay? So here we go. Throw, throw, catch, catch. Yeah? Throw, throw, catch, catch. So notice now they're both kind of going in that arc, okay? But they're just switching hands, right? So throw, throw, catch, catch. Yeah? So the ball that was in my right hand ends up in my left, and the one that was in my left hand ends up in my right hand. Yes? Throw, throw, catch, catch. Now, I want to encourage you to make sure you're starting that throw with both hands, right? Because once we get to 3, we're going to be doing the same action with both hands. So don't always start your throw, throw, catch, catch with the same hand. So this time I'll start with the right hand, throw, throw, catch, catch. Now I'll start with the left, throw, throw, catch, catch, right? Now, a few things I want to caution you about. Again, these are sort of common beginner mistakes. You may be experiencing them, you may not. So you can see the one I talked about when we were doing 1, chasing the ball, it's going to really jam you up, right? So we make sure you're not doing that. Make sure you're letting the ball come to your hand, which are nice, kind of nice and relaxed and even out here in front of you. Yes? Okay. So the other issue that happens when we get to two is people start to hand across. And let me show you what I mean by that. This is, a lot of folks do this as they're learning to juggle if they don't know the other technique, right? So it looks like this. See how I'm handing across, right? So I'm throwing and then handing it across. Instead of throw, throw, catch, catch, I'm getting throw, hand across, catch, right? Now, there are some tricks that you can do that where this will be a handy skill to have, but learning the basic pattern that we want to learn, the cascade pattern, we really, really, really need to avoid handing across. So throw, throw, catch, catch, throw, throw, catch, catch, throw, throw, catch, catch, throw, throw, catch, catch. Okay? Keep practicing that. Again, go back to one and work on your throw if you're having troubles with that. But here it is one more time. Throw, throw, catch, catch, throw, throw, catch, catch. Okay? Feel free to pause, work on that for a little bit. We're going to move on to three because I also got to teach you stage combat. It's going to be great. All right. So here we go. On to three objects. Now, this is going to probably be chaos. Some of you are going to be really great at this. I've taught juggling to people who pick it up in 20 minutes. I've taught juggling to people who never pick it up, right? Hopefully you won't fall into that category, but again, it takes practice, it takes patience. It's a skill like anything, right? So the more you practice it, the better you get at it. It's like any skill, okay? So we're gonna work our way up to this nice cascade pattern that looks like this. Yeah? So now we can say out loud or in our heads, we can say throw, 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 right? I don't have time to say catch anymore. But you notice, overall, all three of my throws are going in that nice throw across, right? And again, I'm trying to keep as little movement as possible, right? So I'm not chasing it around, right? So notice that my elbows are kind of staying in the same place and my hands are moving, of course, to again make the object travel through space, but not too much, right? So nice even throws. And I'm kind of aiming for the middle, right? So right about here is where I want the ball to peak and start coming down the other side. And I also want to make sure that the next object I'm throwing, so this is my first throw, it's going to go this way, right? And then my next object is going to come underneath, yeah? So let me be really clear about that, right? So I'm going to throw this one, that one goes underneath, right? Not over it. Again, that's later on as you learn more tricks and stuff, you can incorporate that. But the pattern, your pattern is going to be best served by going under the incoming object. I hope that makes sense. So again, let me just demonstrate. Throw, 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 right? So once you get going, your body will eventually just sort of fall into it, and as I said, you'll drop no matter how good you get, just like I just did. Nobody's ever perfect, and that's okay. But keep practicing, right? So a couple of things that are going to happen when you get to three. You're going to start off, and they're going to go all over the place, right? That's common. It's very common. Again, go back to two, go back to one. Again, if your throws are good, everything else will fall into place. Don't worry about catching, right? That's not really a big deal. Again, an accurate throw will lead to a good, accurate catch. So go back and work on your throws. If you're having problems with your bean bags or whatever going all over the place, all over the room, then that means you need to work on the accuracy of your throws a little more, okay? No big deal. It happens to all of us. So another thing that will happen is the objects will start moving out in front of you, right? So instead of kind of being in this plane here, that you'll throw it and it'll start going out here, right? You have to chase, right? So my tip for that is get yourself up close to a wall, right? So you're maybe, 6 to 8 inches away from a wall. And then when you juggle, it'll force you to keep your hands a little closer to yourself, right? Imagine there's a wall right in front of me, right? And if I'm reaching my hands out, I'm going to be smacking my knuckles against the wall. So you'll train yourself to not move outward as you're going, right? So everything that's happening that we're doing is kind of happening in this this plane beside us, right? Not out, we're not juggling out in front of us, right? We're not throwing the objects that way, we're throwing them across ourselves. So that's where we want it to stay. So here is again, 3, right? Cascade pattern, throw, 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 throw. So to get there, we start with 2 in one hand and 1 in the other. Okay, it doesn't matter which hand you start with. Like I said, you should really practice right and left hand skills equally because you're going to need them both. So anyway, the hand that has 2, you're going to start by throwing the object that's farthest down your hand. So you see there's one, this one back here is back kind of resting my palm. This one's up here being held by my thumb and first 2 fingers. That's the one I'm going to throw first. Yeah. And so you always start with whichever hand has 2 in it. Yeah. And then we just go, right? That's it. You just go. I know I make it sound so easy, but it will get easier the more you practice. So here it is one last time, the cascade pattern. Throw, 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 right? So essentially, you're just trading objects from one side to the other. This one goes over here, this one comes this way, and so on and so forth, right? Again, if you're struggling with 3, go back to 2. Throw, throw, catch, catch. If you're struggling with 2, go back to 1 and just work on that throw and catch. Throw and catch. Throw and catch. Yeah? Good. All right. So that's the skill of juggling. Like I said, pause, work on it, practice. You got to keep practicing or you won't get better. That I can promise you. But the next skill we're going to work on is a really fun one that will come up a lot if you become a Shakespearean actor for sure, but comes up a lot in any kind of performing. And stage combat obviously comes up a lot all over the place. If you like Marvel movies, you've seen stage combat. If you like any kind of stuff like that, there's stage combat in all kinds of entertainment that we do now. But today I'm going to teach you the basics of sword combat. So here I have my trusty wooden sword, okay? If you have a wooden sword, great. If you have a real sword, you can use that, but please be careful. You can use a broomstick, a tennis racket, a golf club. You can just go grab a stick from the backyard. You can use any kind of long object that isn't too heavy for you to handle and isn't too long. You know, you want it to be about as long as your, upper body. Like there's my belt buckle, right? And this goes about to the top of my head. So that's about right. And again, just please be sure whatever object you use, you A, have permission to use it, and B, have enough room that you can use it. I'm in a big giant room right now, so I have plenty of room. I'm not going to smack into anybody or anything. So try to have the same setup, okay? So first, we're going to start off by learning the 5 basic combat positions, okay? So we're going to start with Unguard, which is not really one of the 5 positions, but it's where we start from, right? So on guard, I'm going to face my opponent, which is you or the camera really at this moment, right? I'm going to face my opponent, square off. I'm going to have my feet planted firmly. I'm going to bend at the knees a little bit, right, to give me a little flexibility. I'm going to take my left arm. I'm going to tuck it out of the way. So I make myself as small a target as possible, which is easier for some people than others, granted. But anyway, and then I'm going to take my sword and I'm going to point it right towards my opponent. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the tip of my sword is not pointing in my opponent's face. In this circumstance, I'm going to use my camera to judge that. So I can see it would be, there we go. If my opponent is about the same height as me, now it's not pointing in their face. Safety is always the most important thing with stage combat, right? So that's our first lesson in safety. Don't point your weapon at your opponent's face, okay? So all of this stuff you need as you practice it, especially if you're practicing with a partner, you need to practice slowly, carefully. Think about your targets. I'm going to use that word a lot, and think about the area around you. Again, don't just run into the dining room with all the precious china that your family owns and start swinging a sword around. That's not going to go well for you. So anyway, here we go. So whenever I say on guard, we're going to get into this starting position that I'm showing you right now. Here's a view from the back, so you can kind of see what it looks like from your point of view, right? Okay. And if you're left-handed, all of this works exactly the same. It just is reversed, right? Which you're probably used to if you are left-handed, yeah? Okay, so here we go. On guard. So we're going to learn attacks first, okay? So I will show them to you in this direction, then I will turn around and show them to you from your point of view, right? So we're going to attack 1, and a 1 is lower body. It's an attack that will come somewhere between the hip and the ankle. In this case, I'm kind of going for the knee, right? And notice I'm leading with my knuckles, right? So I'm leading with the edge of the blade and my knuckles. I'm not coming in like this, right? I'm not coming in like that. I'm going to come in nice and sweep in here, leading with my knuckles. Boom. We're going to do that with all of them, right? And I'm going to come to my target and stop, okay? And then a 2 is the opposite of that. So I'm going to bring it around. You notice these big sweeping moves and stuff are meant to be dramatic. Remember, we're learning stage combat, not real sword combat. If this were real sword combat, my biggest advice would be to run and not get in a sword fight. But on stage, sword fights can be a lot of fun. So here we go. There's our 2. Again, lower body between the hip and the ankle, about the knee height, but you can adjust that anywhere and call it a 2. This could be a 2, right? So 2. So 1 and 2. Okay, now 3 is going to stay on the same side of the body. So I'm just going to pull back for now, like I'm doing a tennis backhand, and come here again, leading with my knuckles like I do with all these. 3, okay. Sweep around for my 4, leading with my knuckles. Boom, right? So one thing too to point out, and this is the same for 1 and 2 as well, but you'll notice with 3 and 4, 3, the top of my hand is facing the ceiling. 4, the palm is facing the ceiling. So again, I'm always leading with my knuckles. 3, 4, okay? And these are universal positions that all fight choreographers use, no matter what kind of weapon you're using, no matter any of that, you're gonna come across this if you do any stage combat, okay? And then our last position that we're gonna learn from Unguard is our 5, which is a big sweeping blow across the body, straight down on top of the head. Again, though, look, I'm leading with my knuckles and the edge of my blade. Please don't ever touch the edge of a real blade. That's very dangerous, but as my sword is wooden, I can do that. That's why I like to use wooden swords, so I can demonstrate the edge of the blade, right? So a 5 is straight down. So here we go through the whole thing, one way this direction. I'm going to attack 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, safety first. Make sure you have plenty of room. Make sure if you are sparring with a partner at any point that you're very careful, slow, figure out your choreography, right? The order of moves you're going to do, and then practice them until you can do them in your sleep, right? That's how you get good. All right, now I'm going to turn around and show it from your point of view, okay? So here we are on guard. I'm going to widen my stance here a little bit, but here we are on guard. And a 1 is going to come around this way. 1. Yeah. 2. See that? So see how if I was facing the opponent, I'd be right about at their knee, right? 2. Okay. 3 stays on the same side as the 2. It comes up here, upper body hit, right? 4 is going to come around this way, another upper body hit, and the 5 is the big sweep around, and here I come straight down. Yes. Okay, so here we go one more time on guard. And again, just like with the juggling, you can pause this, work on each move separately, go back, whatever you need to do, all right? So on guard, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Remember, always lead with the knuckles, always know your environment, be safe, okay? Very, very important, because when we're doing stage combat in a show or a film or anything, we have to be able to repeat it over and over again, right? So if it's not safe and somebody gets hurt, then we got to find somebody else. We got to do something else. We got to, it's just a mess. So we want to make sure we're safe. We want to make sure the environment is open enough to do what we're doing, and that we have permission to use whatever weapon it is we're using. Okay, now let's learn probably the more important part, the defense. Okay, so here we go on guard. Remember, a 1 is coming at your lower body, so I'm going to take my sword, and again, I'm going to lead with my knuckles. I'm going to come in a little close. So notice, this is how I'm going to do this. I'm going to drop it down here, but you notice my knuckles are going this way, so I have the strength of my arm to push the sword away, right? And again, I'm catching with the edge. Boom, 1, yeah, 2, here. 3, remember, stays on the same side as 2, so I'm just going to flip this up. And again, look how far I'm extending. I want to keep my opponent's weapon as far away from me as possible. So 3, and then 4 is probably the trickiest one. I'm going to turn my torso a bit and bring my sword across with me, right? So 3, 4, Yeah, 3, 4. So here we go, defending again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5, remember, it's coming down your head. Now 5, it's important to remember, keep your sword so it's out in front of your head, right? If it's here, you can still hurt yourself, right? So you want to keep your 5 up and away. 5 up and away from your head. Yes? Okay, now I'm going to turn around and show it from your point of view. Okay? So here we go. On guard. Defend 1. There it is. 2. 3 stays on the same side as 2. I'm going to angle away. Remember, I'm always leading with my knuckles, whether I'm attacking or defending. 4 and 5. Okay. One more time. Defend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Good. Again, pause, practice, take as much time as you want. But those are the basic skills you need to create a sword fight, okay? So if you don't have a partner to sword fight with, you just keep working on those till they become second nature. And again, you can move those targets around. I mean, a 3 could be over here. It's anything above between the waist and the neck, 3 and 4, right? 5 is anything above the neck, and 1 and 2 are anything below the waist. So you can move those targets around. Add in some spins, right, and some kicks, and have some fun with it, right? But again, careful, careful, careful. It's all about practicing and being careful. I hope you enjoyed my dynamic stage skills workshop today. Again, I am Matt. I am the Director of Education for the Heart of America Shakespeare Festival. Please check us out at kcshakes.org and enjoy the rest of the Future Stages Festival. Thank you.